Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pickleball and Politics, where I combine my quest to stay out of the kitchen with my passion for politics. I told you the last episode or two there won't be a lot of pickleball moving forward. I'm still playing, and I still stink, and we know all those things about me. That hasn't changed. Maybe if I suddenly became fantastic, I'd start talking about it more. But maybe I'll have to rename this podcast to the podcast formerly known as Pickleball and Politics, because she doesn't talk about pickleball too much anymore. There's too much going on in the world. And as you know, one of the biggest stories right now are the college protests going on, protesting the Israel-Hamas war. Now, I've been watching so much. I watch live streams on Twitter. I watch things that are on YouTube, I don't have TikTok. I won't do the TikTok thing. But if you're on Instagram, if it's on Twitter, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it on YouTube. And I've been watching all of this. First of all, they all got a mask on. Now, you know they're not wearing a mask because they're afraid of a virus. No, they're all wearing masks because they don't want to be recorded. There are cameras everywhere, there's surveillance everywhere, and they want their heads covered and their faces covered, and all you can see is their eyes. Well, you know what? You better put on glasses, kids, because they got iris recognition these days, too. So if you think covering your face and putting on a hat is protecting your identity, it's not, because they can recognize you by your eyes now, too. Anyway, so I started thinking, who are all these kids? And are they kids? Because I really can't tell how old these people are. I really can't. They're all covered. They've got the virus of a protest that they're afraid of and they're protecting themselves from, I guess. How many are Antifa? How many are students? How many went to Columbia who were in the quad there protesting? How many? Do they go to Columbia? Now, there was a time where Columbia, you had to be able to scan to get on there, but then they started letting other people in and people were borrowing IDs and everything else. So how many of these protesters are actual students? How many are paid agitators? How many are Antifa? Because so much of what's going on is very, it's got Antifa written all over it. I believe there are students in the mix, but I personally believe that the majority are agitators, actors, Antifa. And I will say anybody with a sign that's printed is paid. That's how I feel. If they come with the signs and say, hold this, is basically a paid organization that is paying for these kids to protest. Now, do I think there's more kids protesting than there were? Yeah, I do, because it's become the thing to do. Schools have been massaging this culture of radicalization, especially at the most elite schools, for the past decade or two. So, of course, these kids want to get out and protest. Every one of their courses is about how to be anti-establishment, how to be this, how to be that. At the most elite and prestigious schools, where you're anything, you are establishment, they're being taught to be anti-establishment. The juxtaposition is really comical, and anybody who can see it. So we have all these kids. They've been massaged to be radicalized in so many ways. It used to be you went to college and they taught you how to think. And now they're teaching you what to think. So we have all these kids. They're the class of 2024, which means they were the class of 2020. They're angry. So many people are angry. Everywhere you go, people are angry. You know, when we've done how people feel about the country, nobody's happy about the country and the direction it's going in either. You know, these kids are even worse. There are protests at Harvard, at NYU, at Columbia. The faculty, the administration has completely lost control of this. And the sad part is when the first tent comes in, that's where it almost has to be stopped. But the administration doesn't stop it. We wait until there's an encampment. And then, unfortunately, they have to bring in NYPD to clear out the scene. It doesn't go well. These are kids who are already being told that the police are no good, cops are no good. These were kids who remember the George Floyd riots. And so the administration has not only failed these kids because they don't teach them how to think anymore, just what to think. But when the crap hits the fan, they have to call in the heavy-duty authority, the SWAT teams, in riot gear, the cops who have to bang heads. And it just is proliferating, this animosity with authority and with the men in blue. And look at what's happened in Oakland. The whole place has fallen apart since they defunded the police. And this is just continuing the indoctrination that establishment of any kind is bad. It's also, they've gotten so extreme with the diversity, equality, and inclusion that what we really now is a complete environment of division and exclusion. It really is. This generation in college right now, almost invented the term microaggressions, that if you call them the wrong pronoun, you're being aggressive. And yet, the amount of anti-Semitism it's just baffling to me. It really is. Actually, I think they're protecting themselves from maybe that virus of anti-Semitism. Maybe that's why they have the masks on. They're all yelling, "We are Hamas, we are Hamas, we are Hamas." Hamas is a terrorist organization. On October 7th, they went into Israel. They killed women. They killed children. They killed grandmothers. They still have hostages. They killed people when they were hostages. They raped and murdered women. I'm sure they might have raped and murdered some men too. And you're on a college campus, an elite college campus, yelling, "You are Hamas"? You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything at all. If you want to be Hamas, be brave. Be brave. Get yourself a ticket. Go to Gaza. Take up arms. And fight. Fight. You want to be Hamas? Be Hamas. Go ahead. Go right over there to Gaza. Take up arms and fight. In addition to "We are Hamas" and the other chants that they have, they are also chanting "Death to America." The same kids that want America to forgive their college student loans wants the country dead. I don't even know where this is going to go, what's going to happen with this. I think it's personally very sad that there are going to be a lot of commencements that will be canceled this year because of the fear of protests and riots on campus. And that makes me really sad because this is such a small segment of the student population who are protesting. And you know what? 4 years ago, those kids didn't have a high school graduation either because we were smack in the middle of COVID and they were all canceled. And now 4 years later, another election year, by the way, they'll probably have their commencements canceled again. So we've taken their high school graduation away from them, and now some of their college graduations will be removed. It's just sad. The whole thing is unnecessary, and it gets back to the first question I asked. Who is paying these kids? Who are these kids? Because they are not all students. And what is their agenda? As you know, you can leave me a message. You can subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Tell me what you think. As you know, I talk back to you. As I said last time, somebody told me they missed the white mic. So the white mic is back. I hope you're enjoying it. Leave me a message. Follow me on Instagram and on Geta at Pickleball and Politics, and on X, Twitter, where I've been really active lately, at Pickle and Paul, or you can follow me right here on my YouTube channel. All right, until next time, I will see you again soon on Pickleball and Politics.